Studio 5. If you find change to be intimidating, you might be looking through the wrong lens. My next guest says instead of choosing the wide view, we should be looking at change in a focused, close-up way. Studio 5's Dr. Matt Townsend is here to take us through these small steps of change. Do we make this too hard?
Yes.
We do?
We make everything too hard.
Everything.
It's simple. I mean, change doesn't have to be enormous. And when you make it too big, what does it become?
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming. I can't do it. And then you'll fail. And then when you fail big.
And then you're discouraged, and the cycle just repeats itself over and over.
If you're going to fail small. Just take a little chunk.
Aim low.
It's like eating food. You need little bites.
Yeah.
And then you need to chew them enough. And then they'll go down. If they don't go down, you just choked on something
That is the most brilliant food analogy I think you've ever shared.
I just made it up right there.
In this space. Food.
Yeah.
Small bites.
Change. It's, by the way, do you want to predict it's not going to go away?
What?
Change.
No.
You're going to have to keep doing it.
What's
even
that
if you
saying?
don't want to.
The only, what is
the only constant is change.
That one.
I am changing. I just turned another year older.
How old?
45.
Is that the number?
Yes.
I think you've lied
and my
about
hips
it up
are
until
hurting.
this moment.
And I fell the other day and I couldn't get up.
You did not fall.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you poor 45-year-old.
But like 45-year-olds shouldn't fall. Because then you start realizing it's starting to hurt.
We got to get you the balance shoes now, and it's...
But you know what I started doing? I started working out. You know how that all started? This process we're going to go through. We're going to go through a very simple process of change.
In fact, a 4-step process.
4-step, but it's really just questions. And if you've ever heard of me talk about My Life Changer, this program I'm doing, this is a program that it's just anyone can use it, but we email you these questions every single day. Here's how it works. Pick one thing you want to work on, one change.
Okay.
You don't have to do it out loud, but I already know what it is.
Oh my gosh.
But you pick a change, like having better friends, or being a better friend, or working out, or being healthier.
So I was going to ask, does it have to be specific? I mean, working out's pretty broad.
Honestly, the way we do it is we just have you pick an area: physical, social, emotional, spiritual, financial, intellectual. Just pick a general area that you want to improve. And then the way I would do it is I would just start to say, where do I sense I really am lagging behind a little bit?
Within
where do I need a little pickup? Yeah, no, just in the physical area.
In general.
Now watch how crazy this is. Once you've got the change, all you have to do is think about it. So for example, let's just say I want to gain or increase my integrity. I want to get better at being able to have integrity physically and work out, do my exercises, get up, eat healthier, and really show integrity in my physical life.
Okay.
I just think about that now. All I need to do is start to ask what works. In my life, there's a million things that have already worked in my life physically that work. So I would actually go 3 places to figure out what works. I could go to my past of what has worked in the past that's helped me maintain this incredible physique. What has worked in the past?
Where have I seen success in...
Exactly, in the past. Why am I asking what works, by the way?
Well, because you want it to work now.
What we think a change has to be is to quit doing something that doesn't work. Right? So I want to get in better physical shape, so I've got to quit eating donuts and quit messing around, no more Cheetos. I could make a list of everything I shouldn't do anymore, but I'm not even asking that question. I'm just simply saying, I want to improve my life physically. What has worked in the past that's helped me physically? So that's me going to my past about where it was positive. Then I can ask, today, what did I do today that was healthy, that improved my life physically today? So notice, I can start writing these things down. From the past, I used to work out more. I used to work out in the morning instead of at night. I used to have a friend that I would work out with. I used to ride bikes more, and bikes seemed easier for me. What worked today? I drank more water, I got more sleep. Notice, now I'm starting to aggregate things that work. Then I can ask a question about the future. If I had a magic wand and I was perfectly healthy and fit and in a habit physically that I want to be in, what would that look like? What would I do every morning? What would I do every afternoon? What would I do? And I could start making a list. And this is giving me just a million ideas of past, present, future, all of things that have worked.
I'm going to use your word. It's giving you data.
Data. Now I've got the data that I need. Now, what's so weird about all this data is I already had all the data in me. I don't need to go get a new diet. I don't need to go get a health rider that they don't make anymore. And if you need one, I've got one. I don't need another one. No, and it holds, and your clothes are perfectly hanging on them. I don't need stuff like that. I don't need anything else because the answers are already in me. In my past, in my present, in my future, where it's worked. Either for me, by the way, or for someone else. I may have heard of something you did that worked really well, and I'm going to say, oh, Brooke does this.
Can you take us through a different scenario? Weight loss, I think, very common. A lot of people connect with that. We also talked before the break and throughout the idea of I need more patience with my kids.
Patience is a great one. So, by the way, to me, patience is a principle, a great universal principle. In the past in my life, where has it really worked that I've had more patience with my children? And I could think back to, well, when I was a younger person and I seemed to have more energy and I had less things on my plate, that used to work a lot better. When I got home at 6 o'clock and I could just dedicate my life from 6 on to my kids, that worked better. Today, what's the most important, or what did I do today that actually worked for me to show patience? I was really patient with them at breakfast until they spilled their milk. I was up to that point. So what was working about that point? In the future, if I had ideal patience level with my family and my kids, what would that look like? How would I come home when I'm home? How would I handle the spilt milk? How would I handle all this stuff? Past, present, future, where has it worked? Then we start aggregating a bunch of ideas. So which idea do we pick? The third tool we use is we just choose the one thing. I believe that if we would just choose one thing a day, by the way, that is guided by your conscience. So your conscience, the word science means knowledge. The word conscience means with knowledge. So if you're making a decision with knowledge, from your conscience, you're probably be making the decision from your value system.
And how does that compare with just making a decision from your brain?
Well, a lot of times I might do what my neighbors do, and I think I need to do that because they do it, and they're running Ragnar, and all the cool, cute, skinny people run Ragnar. The fat tubbies don't, do we? And so I guess I ought to do that.
Okay.
So that's not my conscience making that decision, that's my ego making the decision.
Right.
So then I just ask one question. After thinking about everything that works and wanting to be more patient, I say, what's the most important thing I can do today to improve my patience today?
Just one thing.
And then just shut your cake hole and listen. And your conscience will say, just go be with your children. Just go play with your kids. Or your conscience will say, go apologize for not being patient to the boy that spilled his milk this morning. And then your conscience will guide you. And then all of a sudden, if all I do is that one thing, guess what's happened to me?
You've changed.
I'm now changed. I've changed. And I didn't change something big. This wasn't groundbreaking. But I'll remember it. And then after you've done that one thing, you could ask, what's another thing I could do today?
And what's interesting is, although we're all going to now reflect on this conversation and think Matt taught us, what you're actually teaching us is that we can be our own teacher and listen to what we need to do.
All you need are the questions. And the questions are already, you have every answer you need. So that's just the biggest fake I'm going to teach everybody. Every therapist, every counselor you go to, they're all just trying to get the ideas out of you. You already know what you need to do. You just don't know how to get to those answers. You are the source of your own information, your own light, your own change. And then if you just let your conscience guide, then you go do that. And then guess what I do? Tomorrow, I'm going to ask, what works in the past to improve my patience more? What worked in the last 24 hours? And what would it look like if I kept doing it?
So it's a daily turnover.
That's what we do every single day.
You like this better than New Year's resolutions?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Because I end up doing this one.
This
Unlike
actually works.
New Year's resolutions, I never do.
I love this idea.
Isn't that cool?
4 questions you can ask yourself, apply to any goal, any change you want to make in your life.
Anywhere.
And this
any idea.
This is the crux of your Life Changer
That's
program.
exactly right. And then tomorrow, instead of doing patience, tomorrow I might do spirituality. What's the most important thing I can do today to be more spiritual?
I love it because you're on a treadmill of improvement. I mean, you're constantly just trying to improve upon yourself, not what your neighbors are doing, not how fast they're running the Ragnar, but what you can really get better on.
It's just you.
I love it. All right, so you have your date night coming up.
Yes, June 28th. Are you coming?
I believe I am. I am coming.
Exactly.
I am coming.
June 28th, 7:30 to 9:30. This is going to be tons of fun. Vocal Point will be singing.
Yes.
Voicemail.
Voicemail.
Sorry. Voicemail singing, and I'll probably sing with them.
That's what I'm really waiting for, is my invitation to get up there.
They actually didn't ask me to sing with them, but I might.
Okay, take the mic.
Tons of fun. We're going to talk about differences and how to create peace and harmony, voicemail, in the differences.
I like it. I like it a lot. Tickets still available. Head to Matt's website for that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brooklyn.